Shout out to chivalrous. Did I say it right? Chivalrous. Whatever it is. Those type of men. I literally just saw a man open the door for his wife, his girlfriend. I don't know who it was, but it was just the sweetest thing, and I love to see it. Shout out to y'all.
If I just taught him how to be a great boyfriend, if I taught him how to be a great husband, he would be that great guy that I've been looking for. And it's like, men can learn, and some men can be great learners, and they will take your training, but some will not. I think they don't like to be trained either, you know, and especially a 41-year-old
forget it
boss man,
forget it,
who's cheating on his wife for you
at work.
This man,
he's doing everything wrong.
He's not doing anything for you.
He's doing everything wrong. But I've kind of, trained my husband, and he's trained me, to be fair. We've both had this effect on each other. But I think fundamentally he had to have, so did I, the raw materials. It had to kind of be there to be able to go somewhere.
I'm the bad guy.
Stop with the feminine energy, masculine energy. All it is gender roles rebranded. All it is classism. You know how many girls and young women are on this app diving into this line of thinking, this feminine energy, divine feminine, and they're going to think that the second a man does her wrong, a boy does her wrong, that it's her fault because she didn't allow herself to be in her feminine energy. She was too masculine. What the f-? It is the response to feminism. Why do you think so many men love this? And before people come at me and say, no, it's empowering women, I see nothing empowering about having a woman nitpick everything about her relationship and every behavior that she does until the point where she's no longer authentically herself in a relationship. It's just a sparkly way of telling women, get back in the kitchen, or your man isn't going to provide for you. This doesn't apply to women who choose to be stay-at-home wives or moms. Separate conversation. It's a right-wing pipeline. I said what I said.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. And, a lot of men are deciding, you know what? Until I start getting respect, I start getting some appreciation, might be a better idea to just opt out altogether.
No, I'm not interested.
Okay, no problem.
Wait, that's it?
Huh?
That's all you want to say?
Did you want me to say something else?
I mean, no, but guys usually keep trying, get mad, call me out my name or something.
You wanted that?
No, I was just pointing it out.
Oh, okay. That's it?
So you just gonna go about your day?
Yes. What do you want? Do you want something?
I'm confused. Are you healed or something?
Did you want me to chase you?
No, you just gave up so easily.
If somebody tell me they're not interested in me, I'm not gonna keep trying. Like that's how people get hurt.
Okay, but applying pressure is a thing.
Yeah, I apply pressure to people that want me back.
I beg to differ. I think if a man wants something, he gonna go after it.
I do go after what I want, but that want has to want me back. I'm not gonna be chasing after the rejected. That's stupid.
A lot of these guys are doing the math and the ROI on a lot of these relationships, especially with a lot of these women, is 0% return. A 0% return. You're not getting anything back.
When he was hanging out with the fellas, you called him, you didn't feel good, he stopped what he was doing and came to see about you. And on his way home from work, he checks in to make sure you don't need anything so he can drop it off at your house before he goes home. And when he goes grocery shopping for his house, he makes sure he hooks you up too. He's working 2.5 jobs, saving for a wedding that you want, when he could have dropped one of those jobs, went to the Justice of the Peace, and continued saving for the house that he wanted to get, for the wife that he will soon have. And you did nothing but show him how ungrateful you are, calling him lazy because he didn't feel like going out this weekend. Baby, really? And now your feelings are hurt because he stood his ground? Because he didn't cave? Because he put getting his rest before going to hang out? Shouldn't you be happy that you have a man with common sense, who sets standards, boundaries, who takes care of himself, and who knows when enough is enough and it's time to rest? He's not lazy, and you're being selfish.
Once again, you're going to see a lot of men continue to exit dating altogether. If you're going to continue to disrespect me to my face, what are you really expecting? If you're going to continue to act silly with me, what are you thinking I'm going to do?
Things like weight, how people look, we can adjust things like that. And height is just not important. People really act like they are fending for themselves in the Amazon. And you need a big burly man to be protecting you from all of the wild orangutans that are out to get you. That's not true. Stop talking about it's biology. It's just a biological need. A lot of things are biology that you do not do, like keeping your weight regulated. That's biology. It's a biological imperative for you to have a regulated weight. I didn't want to talk about this today. It's a biological imperative for you to do quite a few things that you don't do. But all of a sudden, the biological imperative for you to have a 6 foot up man is now very important. The biological imperative for you to exercise. How about that? We never talk about these things, these biological needs. But you got a biological need for a 6'2" man.
Modern women, it's crazy because they say that, well, I want to be left alone. I don't want men talking to me. And when men leave you alone, then you get upset. Men heard you. They stopped approaching you. They stopped messing with you and quote unquote harassing you, as you say. And now you're confused as to why the request that you made was honored. This is what you asked for. What are you talking about right now?
Feminists, I guarantee you, if we were to do research, has a pretty high rate of being traumatized by a man early on. And we need to deal with that. Mm-hmm. We don't need to allow this to continue to emasculate men. Men can't say something to a woman. Most men won't. And I understand why, but women can. And so if we can get to the woman, that's why our program is called Held. And we teach women like, hey, if he's driving, don't correct his driving. Hey, if he's doing something, don't criticize. And I am not perfect. We are not perfect, but we try. My life personally, I've come from a place of seeing what it looks like to emasculate a man. And I come from a family where I wouldn't say my mom emasculated my dad, but she was very powerful and he took a passive role. That dynamic was not healthy for me now. I want a man who's in a leadership role and I want to play a more passive role. And that's actually so designed biologically in me. Then all of a sudden you start to see more love and joy coming from me. And a man is so inspired by a woman who is like flooding with love and flooding with joy, and something lights up in him. And that's biologically designed from the Lord. So the more we can stay lock and step with that, the more we're going to understand just why God designed us like that in the first place.
You know, I think these modern women need to start learning and understanding when a man is disappearing, when he leaves the dating scene, it's not an accident. That's by choice. That's judgment. That's a verdict. Hey, you want me to be a certain way? I've already told you where I stand. And you think that you're going to force me to do it? Okay.
Look at this young man. He's trying to be chivalrous. So when this happened to young men and like they're in the early teens and this happened to them, and guess what, as they get older they now stop be chivalrous, then women start saying, oh, chivalry is dead and men is not this and men is not that anymore. But after years of rejection, this is what turned men into not being chivalrous anymore, because they're tired of being embarrassed and humiliated and those kind of things. So guess what, as they get in their 20s, they just stop trying because of years of women treating them like this. So it's not that men don't want to be chivalrous anymore. It's just that there's only so much they could take. It's like developing callus. It's like you do something and you get rejected so often, eventually you just stop trying. So men need chivalry, women need chivalry. So let me know your thoughts on this, because this is sad. This is messed up.
A lot of these men approaching now are the ones that don't really care about rejection. Those are the creeps that you guys are talking about. Not all the guys, but there are a lot of men out there that are approaching that really don't care nothing about your feelings, right? I don't really care about rejection. I don't care about much else either. I don't really even care about you. I'm just trying to get the draws.
Stop! Stop! You gotta go!
I don't like her.
I'm not.
Hey, you're in a way. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking. You're gorgeous. I'm just telling you.
You gotta leave.
Want men to approach, and then they act like this. Sometimes they are the ones keeping themselves and everyone around them single. Literally nobody wants to deal with energy like that. And look, guys aren't perfect. Clearly this was not the best time, But if it was another dude who's tired of dating apps and tired of feeling lonely, finally worked up the courage to put himself out there, and this is the kind of reaction he got, that is probably his first and last time ever doing that. And the funny part is, I wasn't even talking to her. I was trying to compliment her friend in the back, and she jumps in, starts screaming and making a scene. Classic fridge protecting the snacks. So yeah, you can keep talking about why don't men approach us anymore? But when you act like this, you create the exact reality that you complain about. So when you're sitting in your 30s and thinking, where have all the good men gone? Rewind this clip and you'll have your answer.
A lot of these modern women are coming through broken, unhealed. And honestly, man, dirt bags, man. They're coming through and they want a man to take their silly self, their broken self, and be like, oh yeah, I'll be glad to fix all your issues while you sit up there and nag and complain about me having any at all.
When I meet women that have the mindset of dating for marriage, they are centering men and their experience. They just need to find a man. They want to find a man so that they can get married, have a ring, be called a wife, and sit on this pedestal. On this channel, we're just going to be very frank and cut and dry, and we're going to get down to the bottom of what it is. I'm not going to feed into your comfortableness of beating around the bush. I'm going to call it as it is. That is centering men. And the thing about it is, what comes with that is a lot of the teachings that we've heard from our elders. Oh, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, girl. If you want a man and you don't want him to cheat and you want to be the only one, you got to make sure that you do this. You got to make sure that you do that. And it's a lot of manipulation. It's a lot of entrapment, and all of that energy, you actually imprison yourself. Marriage is not a winning ticket for a woman if she schemed her way into it. It's like you scheme your way into a problem. You scheme your way into a full-time job. You scheme your way into Pygmisha-ism and Barbara the Builder-ism. It's a scheme. When you date with purpose, you understand that there is a deeper purpose. You understand that a relationship is not a romanticized movie. It's a partnership in which this person is going to allow you to discover who you are on a deeper level.
A lot of these modern women are making decisions and they don't want to live with the consequences. They want a man to come rescue them. Oh, a man should just look past all of that. I'm not going to. If you have a history of doing the wrong thing, then I'm probably going to have questions about it at the very least. It might be nothing, but it also might be something. And I'm going to ask you about it.
So this psychology of the pick is something that I have looked into, because, it's hard to really, why would they do something they know that most women are going to get turned off by?
My next guests are a podcasting power couple. He's a Harvard-trained MD who opened the first comprehensive men's healthcare center in the U.S. She is a PhD clinical psychologist, author, and futurist. Together, they are the hosts of the Doctors podcast, where they deep dive into the science and psychology of health and relationships.
What I think women don't appreciate about men, especially good men who are usually in jobs trying to do whatever they do.
Not the pics.
Is that not the pick group. That's it. We're talking about a different group here. Is that they feel like they are warriors all day long. And although they may even want to be a warrior, they may thrive on being a warrior if they're successful. When they come home and be with their partner, they want to stop being a warrior. And if their partner is competing with them in everything, then they have no home. They have no place to just let it all down.
We strive to maintain control in our lives, and it helps us be so functional and accomplish what we accomplish. And so control has a lot of benefit. But if we don't practice or become comfortable with the other side of letting go, that is really not going to be anything close to what it could be for us. We have to be able to let go of control to enjoy.
Would figuring out what you want in a partner help or hurt that hindrance? Do you think the definition of what a good man is has changed?
A lot of men are not approaching because they learn their lesson, right? Tried being a gentleman, learn my lesson. tried being, the good guy, the stable guy. I learned my lesson. Try to be assertive. Try to be vulnerable. I learned my lesson. In all of these situations, modern women are continuing to ruin the dating market with their foolishness.
If you're out with your friends and you see someone cute and want to talk to them, but you don't know how, here are 5 easy lines for talking to somebody in the wild. The last line is the one I use the most often. I've been trying these out over the last few months, and I feel like it usually results in a fun time out and also the exchanging of Instagram handles or phone numbers with that person. I feel like as a girl going up to a guy, it doesn't necessarily matter what you say, it's just important that you break the ice. So the first line is simple. It's asking someone if they've been to that spot before. I used this line on my birthday to go up to somebody and ask them like, oh, have you been here before? We just went downstairs and it sucked. Like, this upstairs area is so much better. And then we started talking about like his past experiences at that bar, and it just kind of took off from there. The second one is fun and low pressure. Basically, you and your friend have to decide some sort of debate topic, not something necessarily that you guys are actually debating, but you use this topic to go up to people and ask them to settle the debate. I remember years ago when the whole Fyre Festival thing was going on, the documentary came out, we would go up to people and ask them like, which documentary do you think is better, the Fyre Festival on Netflix or Hulu? And everyone always had so many opinions on Fyre Festival, so they would always answer, and then we would just end up talking about it, and it was always really silly. The third line I feel like is better if you see like 2 people or 3 guys together instead of like a huge mob of guys. That might be hard to use this line for. But basically, if you're standing around, they're standing around, you just take your friend, go up to them and say like, oh, can we join you guys? As long as they're not stuck up or unapproachable looking, I feel like almost always this works. The fourth line is related to going out on certain holidays. Those are great times to go out and talk to people. I feel like there are just so many things that are easy to talk to somebody about. Like, for example, Halloween, you can go up to somebody and say like, oh, I love your costume, or like, how did you come up with this costume? There was one year on St. Patrick's Day, I remember seeing somebody that had like a beaded necklace with the shot glass at the end, and I went up to him and asked him like, did you get that at this bar? Like, where can I get one of those? Okay, the last one's my most used line and the simplest. Basically, if you're standing next to somebody at a bar, you can just ask them like, oh, what did you order? And if they've tried it, you can ask them like, do you recommend it? This is also great if you're dining alone and sitting at a bar area and somebody has like an entree they've ordered, you can ask them about that. I know it feels really nerve-wracking to go up to strangers and to talk to them, but I promise it gets easier as you try out these different lines. Remember that you have nothing to lose in this situation. Like, the worst thing that can happen is they don't want to talk to you, and that's okay. You can either go back to your friends or just talk to somebody else. Let me know if you guys have any other lines that you like to use to go up to somebody that you think is cute. I'm also doing a single series right now about these types of topics, so follow for more.
A lot of these modern women keep on asking, where are all the chivalrous men at? What's going on with them? Well, it's simple. You mocked him into retirement. And so now instead of him coming out and approaching you, and even if y'all don't come together on some type of agreement, like, oh, I'm not interested, he might stick around and say, hey, you seem like a pretty cool dude. Now you don't even get that because you was being a loser, and now he's like, I don't want to deal with that crap.
Okay, so almost half of women are apparently going to be childless and single by the year 2030.
Dude, good for us, honestly. That's amazing. I love that he presented that article as if women becoming happier and more content with themselves is a problem we need to solve. And I think it's hilarious that all these grown men are so upset by this information that keeps coming out that women are becoming like happier being single and childless now. I want to talk about it today because that man rambled for almost 4 whole minutes and he did absolutely everything but understand the point. That yes, statistically, women are starting to poll as happier being single and childless. And there's a lot of reasons for these statistics coming forward, right? A big one is that we're not out here having to deal with the emotional labor of a relationship that never seems to be equally placed upon a man. But then you see all these men who, for some reason, can't wrap their mind around the fact that women are happy single. And that's because statistically, men poll as happier in a relationship. They're miserable without us. And so they do what this man did in his 4-minute long video, and they get upset, and they think they need to come in and save these women who aren't asking to be saved. And, you know, they blame feminism, they blame women, they dance around the point entirely. They tell themselves whatever they need to rock themselves to sleep as they cry at night, completely missing the point and knowing that women are out here happy. We're just fine. And because you know what? Same. I make myself go on a date every like 2 to 5 months, you know, just to get back in there, give it a try. You never know what could happen. Maybe I'll meet the love of my life and everything will go amazing. But it's good to always put yourself back out there every once in a while to see. And it always ends up going one of two ways. First is that we're just not compatible, you know, totally normal. We move on. And the second one is things work out. We get into a little relationship, right? It usually goes like the last boy I dated. We dated for 3 or 4 months, and almost every day after work, I would go over to his house. And no matter how my day went at work, right, I would just be happy to be off and get to see him. But it wasn't the same for him. It seemed like he was never able to just leave work problems at work, which is fine, right? I'm always here to help, support, vent. But it started to feel like he was having a bad day at work almost every day. And then he would come home and kind of take it out on me. Like he would dump it all on me, and then I would have to deal with fixing it. Or he would be starting arguments, you know, just whole bad mood vibes. It always became my emotional labor now too. And the thing is, the door never really swung both ways. I was always expected to be there to tend to all of his needs and whatnot, but he was never really offering the same thing to me. And I find this happens a lot in relationship with boys. One day I had an amazing day at work. I came home so excited, and he just came and ruined my mood entirely. And that was the day I looked around and went, why am I putting up with this? I am raising a man who would not and does not do the same thing for me. And whilst there are some benefits to having someone around, right, I stayed this long, I was overall on a general baseline just happier being single. So now, about a month or two into every relationship I have, I sit down and I have to ask myself, were you happier before this relationship started? And so far, mostly every time, the answer has been no. It was way better being single. And certainly a lot less stressful than adopting a 27-year-old man-child. And y'all can keep making videos crying and trying to blame feminism and women all you want, but at some point you're gonna have to look inward. I also don't know why he brought money into it. In this economy, most people want a partner who makes more money than them. The last boy I went out with literally said he wants to be a stay-at-home dad and have his wife bring in all the money, and I get it.
The cold approach died when approaching became a crime. It's really what happened, right? So when you started recording men, started insulting men, shaming men, doing all this other dumb stuff, that's when men said, oh shoot, this not for me. Oh, this not the life for me. Oh, she's not that cute. Then, oh man, you know, I got dressed up, I look cute, and no men approached me. Have you ever audited the way you act when men come and approach you? Have you ever thought about that? Of course.
Why are the most loyal and boyfriend material guys single? This is what I constantly hear from other girls, and I have the answer. I think it all stems that women are programmed to see the ideal man as weak, beta, or sus. And that is why they always fall for the guy that cold approaches them and uses some cheesy, corny pickup line.
I'm not going to say she's completely wrong, because to some degree she is right. But this goes so much deeper than that. So a lot of good, solid people who are single, who have the ability and the tools to actually have relationships and to grow and maintain these things, are single because majority of people are not working through their trauma. They are not actually healing their inner child. They are attracted to familiarity, and they repeat cycles and patterns and generational things. So is there some extent that they're left in the friend zone? They're not given a shot. People go after the toxic, cold shoulder, bad boy, mysterious girl. Yes. However, this is a generational thing, because in society, we are groomed to believe that this is normal. I mean, even our home lives, that impacts literally our trajectory for the rest of our lives unless we know how to unwind and heal and work through that trauma. Because what ends up happening is people are a product of their environments, and they go after the toxicity because that is what they know. They don't know anything else. And if somebody knows something's wrong, half the time they don't even know how to fix it or to change it or to what to do to go forward. So why the guys that are loyal and like boyfriend material are single or in a relationship? Because majority of people don't have the capability of putting in the work to be a better person, to be able to establish and develop these tools to be able to have healthy relationships and connections. It's not just women that do this, men do it too. So I don't like videos that go, oh, men this or women that, because this is a human issue. They just might present differently just because we operate differently. There are things that have to be identified between a man and a woman when it comes to certain issues. At the end of the day, we're talking about something that is cycles and patterns and familiarity and childhood trauma, normalizing and being groomed into thinking it's normal. And I would even go as far to say that even those that are single that would be good material for a relationship, man or woman, probably doesn't have the tools and the characteristics to be able to maintain that. Because if somebody has a crack in their glass, water's gonna leak out. Relationships are meant to expose so that way you can grow and you can heal and you can develop. If you get into a relationship thinking it's all gonna be hunky-dory, or you throw the towel away the moment it gets hard, you're never gonna be able to experience the beauty of a true healthy relationship with somebody who is healthy. So the good men that are relationship material would rather stay single than be in a relationship with someone who doesn't appreciate them, is what it comes down to.
A man should never have to ask his woman for affection, because a woman who is truly into her man has an urge to make his day better. So if you got that man asking, you're running out of time with him.
So I shared this video.
When someone hits you with the, I'm not looking for a relationship, I just want something casual, nothing serious, men are notorious for this, so yes, I'm talking to you. I need you to understand that intimacy without a label is still intimacy.
And I just want to clarify a few things. So here we go. The point that I was making was simply this. No commitment, no. Simple, right? Because if you're saying that you're looking for something serious and you come across a man who tells you that he's not looking for something serious, and you decide to allow him into your space and your bed anyway, he cannot be held responsible for the feelings that you go on to catch, especially if they've made it abundantly clear that they're not looking for a relationship, okay? When a man tells you what he wants, believe him. Do not try to change his mind, because a lot of the time it's about conquering you rather than being with you. That's point number one. An additional point, if you are actually in the casual game and you have decided to see a man casually until you find your boyfriend, your husband, or somebody who ticks your boxes, just know that your boundaries are going to have to be A1. Because so often guys say they want casual, but what they mean is that they want a girlfriend that they can drain and then say, wait, we're not serious, which means that they want you to be their therapist. They want to, of course, use your body for their pleasure. They want to hang out and chill and laugh, but they don't want you to catch feelings. And that's fine as long as you're the type of person who can do that. You have to know who you are. If you are not able to do that with a man who is physically attractive, don't do it. Because what you'll find is that men who say that they want casual very rarely want to be with women who also want casual, like real casual, not fake casual, not I can change his mind, but real casual, where he starts to talk about his feelings and you say, whoa. We're casual. We're not talking about feelings right now. Or if he tries to make you his pen pal buddy, like he's sending you messages, all throughout the day, like what you up to, and you don't message him back. And then the next time you see him and he's got like this attitude, like, oh, so why didn't you message me? Because I'm not operational right now. This is casual, which means that you and I speak when it's time to speak. And it sounds awful, it sounds harsh, and so many think that they can do boyfriend casual, see each other every single day, hanging out, just, whatever, and then not catch feelings. Or they catch feelings, or they think, oh wait, hold on, are we both catching feelings? And then he's like, nah. And you're like, you're offended. I'm not here to judge anybody. Like I said, nuance is the word of the year. But in the interest of not breaking your own heart or making your own life miserable, you do need to have, boundaries in place. If you are looking for something serious and that's the man that you want to be with, no commitment, no sex, okay? Like, absolutely not. If you come across a man that you like and you're like, this man is never going to be my boyfriend, Have the time of your life. However, keep the boundaries. Okay, and yes, I have to specify because I get the DMs all the time about, like blurred lines, unblur the lines. Make sure everybody knows their place. Make sure everybody knows where they're supposed to be. Save yourself the headache. Don't be a slow learner.
Why is it okay for you to go sleep around with everyone else?
Because it's harder for me.
If I came up to you and told you, hey, I got like 40 to 50 bodies, you'd be like, no, she's ran through. But you're just as ran through.
No, he's not ran through. He's the one running through.
One time I went down on a guy, and then afterwards he goes, "You're a good woman." Like, it was like immediate. You understand? Like, it was just like, "You're a good woman." Like, it was like, I don't think he knew what he was saying, but that was in his heart. So thank you.
Dating is hard as a single woman. It is awful. It's honestly worse than I could have ever imagined.
What?
It was easier being single at 19 than it is as a 25-year-old.
That's crazy.
Wait, why though?
I feel like guys used to have so much confidence and they'd approach you. Like, I don't know, when you're younger, it's just so much easier. I feel like
been rejected as much.
Yeah. And now I'll go out and I'm like, woo, I'm going to get some attention tonight. And no one speaks to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I the most hideous human in the world? Like,
No. Me and Cass always speak about this though. Like, we've spoken about this a lot of times and it seems like it's an issue that's getting more and more traction. Like, it's not actually getting solved.
I think any woman that I got to put in her place ain't for me. Your place ain't next to me. Facts. Because a grown woman already know where her place is. So if I'm putting you in your place, I'm spending time, energy, and effort putting you in your place. That's time taken away from us elevating. That's time taken away from us progressing and building what it is that we're supposed to be building. Because I got to teach you how to do your job. Teach you how to be an adult. I got to teach you how to be a woman, and I'm a man. That is a problem. You are not a piece of furniture. You are not a pet poodle. You got to be handled.
It must be like being put in the headlock. That's why.
I gotta handle you. You are an adult. You are grown. You should know how to handle yourself.
Why a man gotta look a certain way, or why his energy gotta be a certain way for you to respect him? All we ask you to be is a woman, a lady. That's it. A man gotta be a certain height. He gotta be he gotta make sure he in the gym. He gotta have some tattoos. He gotta then been to jail. He gotta then shot a couple before, been shot at, have some money in the bank. Like, you gotta have all that stuff just for you to respect him and just for you to be able to be put in your place, quote unquote. That's not cool, man. And that's the disconnect between men and women.
Are the stereotypes about women true?
I continue with my take on stereotypes she is talking about.
Number 4, women are so emotional. This is the one I hear the most, and it's honestly so funny. Are women the ones taking pew-pews to school, or movie theaters, or grocery stores? Have you ever seen a woman punch a hole through a wall just because her favorite sports team didn't win? Are women starting literal wars because they can't figure out how to negotiate with other world leaders? I don't think so.
I believe with her argument, she wants to say that men are actually more emotional than women. That's a rather strong claim. Are women emotional? Yes, they are. Are men emotional? Yes, they are. Now, who is more emotional is a rather difficult question, as it depends a lot on what emotional even means. If by emotional, we mean things like anxiety, mood swings, emotional sensitivity, and empathy, then psychology research is actually quite consistent on this. Across large studies using the Big 5 personality model, women on average score higher in neuroticism, which is basically the tendency to experience negative emotions like stress, worry, and emotional reactivity. This has been replicated across cultures and countries for decades. Women also tend to be more emotionally expressive. They talk about their feelings more openly and report them more. But that's only half of the picture. Men are emotional too, just differently. Men are more likely to experience and express emotions like anger, frustration, and aggression. And instead of talking about emotions, they are more likely to act on them. So once again, who is more emotional, men or women, would depend a lot on the definition of the term emotional.
Number 5. Women are gold diggers. If you believe you are entitled to someone managing the house, cleaning, and caring for your kids, which is a 24/7 job, by the way, while you get to go to your 9 to 5, she's not the gold digger. You are. And also, can I just say, you aren't digging for gold when you are the gold.
Miss, I don't know which world do you live in, but in today's world, it is common for both partners to work, to manage the house, and to take care of kids. And how is that even related to gold digging? And since you didn't really address this stereotype, let me do the job for you. First, we need to define who is a gold digger. I suggest this definition. It is a person who pursues romantic relationship primarily for financial gain or material benefits, rather than genuine emotional connection or attraction. Are there women whose primarily purpose when looking for a guy is material benefits? For sure there are, but it is hard to say how many women are like that, as there is no credible research on gold diggers, since this concept is too vague and subjective. If you ask me, based on my experience, most women are not gold diggers. Most of them do want genuine emotional connection and attraction. With that said, hypergamy is still a thing. In simple terms, it means that on average, women tend to date across or up, especially when it comes to income, status, and overall stability. But that has very little to do with gold digging. It is more about general preferences. The same way men, on average, tend to date across or down, often placing more emphasis on youth and attractiveness.
And man, you know how you have so many women out here that are just weird. They're just weird. Oh, there's no reason to approach me. There's no reason to be around me, except to just have normal human interaction. There's so many women that complain about men not approaching, and men, not even for approaching, not even for dating purposes, but they're just be social, man. I don't want to talk to women all the time. I want to talk to some guys. I want to see what they're up to. Well, whenever you guys talk sideways, whenever you guys talk crazy, what are you expecting a man to do? What do you think a man is going to be doing? You think a man is going to be walking up to you if you're not friendly? I mean, guys, come on, man. It's not rocket science.